Nobody cares about you, and why that's the best thing that ever happened to you. Imagine you are standing on a stage under a blinding spotlight. You feel the sweat dripping down your neck, your heart hammering against your ribs. You stutter, make a silly mistake, and feel the crushing weight of 1,000 eyes judging you, laughing in silence at your incompetence. This feeling follows you to work, to college, and even to the grocery store. But now turn off the lights. Look at the audience. What do you see? Empty chairs. There was never anyone watching. The theater is abandoned. The ceiling is collapsing, and you have spent your entire life performing for ghosts. We live in the era of manufactured hypervisibility. Social media has created a collective neurosis where everyone believes they are a public figure. Arthur Schopenhauer warned that the value we place on the opinions of others is a form of madness. He called it begging for honor. We have become beggars for clicks, for likes, for glances of approval from strangers who don't even like us. Think about the time you spend editing a photo or worrying about what to say so you don't seem weird. That is vital energy being thrown into the trash. The truth is that people aren't judging you because they are trapped on their own imaginary stages, suffering from the same fear. Every person you pass on the street is fighting an internal battle so loud that you are just a blur in their peripheral vision. You are not the protagonist of anyone's life but your own. Accepting this defeat of the ego is the first step towards sanity. If nobody is watching, you can finally stop holding your breath, stop forcing smiles, and start discovering who you are when the spotlight goes out. Invisibility is not a cell. It is the key to the front door. Let's perform an exercise in perspective that philosophy calls specie aeternitatis, looking at life from the aspect of eternity. Imagine the Earth. Now zoom out. The continents disappear. The planet becomes a pale blue dot suspended in the darkness. Keep zooming out. The solar system is a grain of sand. The Milky Way is a speck of dust in an ocean of billions of other galaxies. In this scale, where are your problems? Where is the rejection you faced? Where is the fear of being judged by your neighbor? It all vanishes. Insignificance is the greatest anti-anxiety medication in existence. When you accept that your life has no astronomical impact, you gain the poetic license to fail. Schopenhauer reminded us that time is a black hole that devours everything. What seems like a personal tragedy today will be nothing in 100 years. In 1,000 years, no one will even know you existed. This should not cause you sadness, but a liberating laugh. If the end of everything is nothingness, why are you suffering because of a social convention? Most of us live as if we owe a debt to the universe, but nature asks nothing of you. Freedom begins when you look into the abyss of time and say, I am nothing, therefore I can be anything. Here lies the greatest revelation you can have about human nature. People are not cruel. They are just deeply selfish. It is a biological law. Every individual is the center of their own private universe. When you walk into a room and feel like everyone is analyzing you, you are the victim of a mental optical illusion. Each of those people is submerged in a sea of their own insecurities. Schopenhauer stated that every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world. This means nobody has enough space in their mind to keep a detailed file on your failures. Understanding the egoism of others is liberating because it removes the weight of surveillance. The world's lack of interest in you is your greatest shield. You owe no explanations to an audience that isn't even paying attention. We have been kidnapped by a culture that glamorizes infinite effort. We were taught that being ordinary is a capital sin. But peace is only found when we embrace our normality. The pressure to be extraordinary is the root of modern mental illness. Think about it. Why is ordinary seen as something bad? There is a profound beauty in being invisible. The man who does not seek the top of the pyramid is the only one who can walk without the constant fear of falling. When you let go of the need to be a winner, you gain the right to fail. You gain the right to be terrible at new hobbies, the right to stare at nothing without wasting potential. Invisibility gives you the benefit of authenticity. At the top, everyone wears masks. But in the planes of common life, you are the sole master of your truth. This desperate need to be noticed has killed our intimacy. We no longer live moments. We document them. The sunset is no longer appreciated for its beauty, but for its ability to generate engagement. We have become directors of mediocre movies about our own lives. But what power are you giving to these people? Most of them didn't stop for 2 seconds to look at your photo. They are just scrolling, trapped in their own cycle of boredom. The invisibility of not being noticed on social media is the ultimate luxury of modernity. It is the rebellious act of saying, My life is too valuable to be consumed as cheap entertainment by strangers. What truly scares us about the phrase "nobody cares about you" is the fear of oblivion. We want names on buildings or statues to cheat death, but oblivion is the final destination of all conscious matter. In 3 generations, your name will be a data point in a family tree that no one consults. Far from being tragic, this is a blessing. Why are you worried about leaving a mark? The universe does not need scars. The idea of legacy is just the ego trying to survive where the body cannot. When you let go of the need to be remembered, you stop living for the future and are forced to face the now. The pressure of being someone for history disappears, leaving the simple task of being someone for yourself. There is a fundamental difference between being alone and being lonely. Loneliness is the fear of invisibility. Solitude is the glory of it. Schopenhauer said, "A man can be himself only so long as he is alone." As when you are with others, you are a fragmented version, edited for consumption. It is only in the silence of your own invisibility that your true essence emerges. When you accept that nobody cares, you become the supreme judge of your own life. Real autonomy is born when you stop looking sideways for approval. The sanctuary of solitude is where you discover you have the strength to walk alone in the dark. We are social animals, but we have become social parasites, feeding on recognition to feel alive. When you live for the eyes of the world, you lose your ability to have an original thought. Schopenhauer called this the will of the species. The freedom of being nobody is that you no longer have a brand to protect. You can change your mind and embrace your contradictions. The moment you stop being a public commodity, you start being a human being. This is the ultimate rebellion. To be invisible to the system so you can be visible to your own truth. There is a quiet dignity in the unseen. Society celebrates the hero on the pedestal, but history is built by the unknown. The person who does the right thing when no one is watching. Schopenhauer believed that the most noble lives are often the most hidden. By embracing your insignificance, you join the ranks of these silent giants. You stop performing virtue and start practicing it. You realize that the most important moments of your life will never be recorded. They are the quiet breaths and internal victories that belong to you and the universe alone. You don't need to be a legend to be legendary in the way you handle your own soul. Comparison is the thief of joy, based on the lie that you are seeing the real version of others. Because you believe you are important, you assume others are more important. But since nobody truly cares about you, they aren't showing you their truth either. They are showing you their mask. When you realize everyone is just as lost and temporary as you are, the hierarchy of comparison collapses. You are not behind anyone, because there is no race. There is no finish line where the most noticed person wins. Break the chains of comparison by realizing the audience is just a collection of other people trying to beat you. Stop running. You are already exactly where you need to be. We have traveled from the imaginary stage to the edge of the galaxy. What remains? You. Not the you the world sees, but the silent observer behind your eyes. This observer is the master of the void. It doesn't need to be important because it is already complete. To be nothing in the eyes of the world is the highest achievement of the philosopher. It is the state of unshakable peace. Go forth now as a master of your own invisibility. Wear it like a cloak of power. Let the world scream and chase shadows. You have found the secret. The universe doesn't care, and that is your greatest victory. You are free to live, free to love, and free to disappear when your time comes, with a soul that never needed permission to exist. Thank you for standing in the void with me today. If this resonated with your deepest self, leave the word "awakened" in the comments. Your support helps this message reach those still trapped in the theater of shadows. Until next time, stay free, stay invisible, stay true.